Hi, in this video I'm going to show you the InfraSOS Office 365 reporting and auditing platform, and I'm going to show you how you can use our platform to audit the following user activities. Let's jump straight into it. This is the Office 365 dashboard, which will give you a bird's eye view of all of your tenants. If you've got multiple tenants, it's a great way to flip between all of your tenants without having to log in and log out of the Azure portal. And you'll be able to report, monitor and audit everything from your users, groups, admins, licenses, applications, MFA status, auditing for users, user changes, newly created users, admins, group changes, monitor your emails, Teams usage, and SharePoint. And then if you want to drill down further into your reports, we've got hundreds of built-in reports. So if we go through the main ones, if you're going to be doing auditing, so you can audit your Entra ID users, and you can set the filter based on certain days. So for example, if you want to track inactive users, say in the last 30 days, it will show you when they last signed in, and it will also show you if they're licensed. So this will be a good way to free up some of your licensing if you've got inactive users, or perhaps their account is still enabled and they should be disabled, or perhaps they're an admin. So this is a very useful report. You can also schedule the report, so you could set a schedule to email you this on a daily, weekly or monthly basis, and you can also export it. You can also customize the report, so perhaps you want to have a look at other metrics based on your users. So you can scroll down and basically just drag and drop columns. So that's your inactive users. Another report you should check out is never logged on users, and this will show you a list of users who have never logged into your Office 365 tenant. And it's good to if you want to do some cleaning up and disable some accounts that shouldn't be enabled. So you can filter by account status, set up a filter, or you can filter by other objects. Again, you can customize the report with many different columns available. Another useful report, perhaps you want to see recently created users, and you can filter by number of days. So if we say last 60 days, let that run. So you can see in our test account, one user was created. So, and again, you can customize the reports with different attributes based on the user. Or perhaps you want to find if there was any recent admins created. So we can go to recently created admins, and you can set a filter, the last 24 hours, or we can go back. So if we go back on my test tenant, 6 months, nothing, 1 year. And here you can see a list of recently created accounts, their status, what roles they're in. So as you can see, these users are global administrator, application administrator, directory roles, and you can customize these again. Lots of different attributes that you can add. And again, you can schedule these or export them into CSV, or you can run all types of filters based on the columns in your reports. Other reports we can check are locked out users. Perhaps you want a list of your current locked out users from Office 365. We can also audit logon events, such as all admin logon events, admin logon failures, all user logon activity. So if we check on admin login failures, so this will bring up a report of all logon failures related to your admins. And here you've got lots of information about the client IP address that they're logging on from, the app that was used, the date, whether it was interactive or non-interactive, what was the location city, the sign-in resource, sign-in status, the reasons for failure, what authentication was used, what type of user was it, and then again you've got lots of different attributes to add that you can drill right down and find out about your logins. Other reports, you've got group member reports, all types of groups, security groups, distribution groups, Microsoft 365 groups, group sizes, nested groups, sync groups, entity groups, recently created groups, many types of reports. You've also got license reports. You can get a list of all your license users and what type of licenses they have installed and configured. Unlicensed users. We can run reports on your external users. So if you want to find out about your guest users, maybe some external users have licenses you might want to check up on, or external users, what sort of roles do they have in set up? That's another useful role, or report, shall I say. So external users, there's an external user here with global administration of access. Does he need that access? Can his account be disabled now? See, that account is still active, so that's another useful report. MFA status, get a list of your users who are enabled and disabled, and get the authentication status for all of your users. So here you can get details. Users registered for MFA, are they registered for strong authentication methods? Are they registered for password strong authentication? What was the default MFA method? Do they have allow self-service password reset? Do they meet the auth methods for SSPR? What's the MFA status? Or perhaps you want to check a report on all of your risky users, risky sign-ins, your compromised users, risky service principals, risks or detected risks in Azure AD. This is another useful report to keep an eye on. And again, you can schedule this report. So here you can see it's detected some risks. Perhaps you want a report on all of your mailboxes. So this is a report on all of your mailboxes and details about them. And here we can drill down, so we can have a look for an example to look at mailboxes have been set up before Mailbox Forwarding. There's a popular report. Just let me add, click save. And then if we scroll down, you should, if it's been configured, you'll see users if they've set up forwarding on their mailboxes, which is always good to check because that could be a security risk. Another good audit report is on your Azure applications, recently added applications or recently updated, consent to new applications or service principal changes. It's always good to keep an eye on if any users are installing any new Azure AD applications. So here you can see one was successful. It tells you the name of it. So this one, WP Loca, was added. Other reports are reports on SharePoint. Perhaps you want to have a look at your sharing configs. So sharing config shows a list of SharePoint sites along with their sharing permissions, such as share by email, share by link, external sharing. And here you can see a list of your SharePoint sites and the default options, or the options that they have set for sharing. So here you can see these have all been disabled. And again, you can see if they've got any domains that have been set to allow for sharing, block lists, and other bits of information. And you've got the same for all sites, recently created sites, site admins. Maybe you want to have a look at guest users in your sites. Other reports on mail protection. You want to have a look at incoming, outgoing spam emails, maybe phishing. Malware emails, is anyone receiving malware or sending malware? And we're constantly adding reports all the time, and later this year we've got Office 365 alerting coming out, so if you want to give us a try, link is in the description. Thanks very much.